Hello and welcome to the skating lesson. I'm Dave Lees.
And I'm Jonathan Byer.
And
I'm
back
Meagan Duhamel.
in Mexico. So Meagan Duhamel, we've been following you this summer. You've been in Ireland doing, in your hometown, you were doing a camp, you're doing a clinic in Mexico now. What the heck? You've been working with Julianne Seguin. What are you up to? What's going on?
Well, I am losing my voice. Every week that passes, my voice gets raspier and raspier.
So you're a yeller. That's good to know.
Meagan, if you could just learn
I feel like when you project across a rink, it just happens. I'm not even yelling.
You need a microphone like the synchro coaches, you know.
Oh, that would be smart. I've been super busy. I mean, I was coaching for most of the summer at home in Montreal, helping my husband, helping out Julianne and Charlie and a few other pair teams at a different rink, which has been really fun. And I've been running a lot of skating camps. I was actually doing a skating camp in Iceland, not Ireland.
Oh, okay.
But it was such an amazing experience with the Icelandic national team. It was actually Bruno that was running the seminar, and I've always wanted to go to Iceland, so I was like, can you ask them if they want some help from me? So I kind of joined along with them. And then I ran a week-long camp in my hometown, and now Eric and I just ran a 2-day camp in Mexico City.
Were you also vacationing somewhere too? Or
I was on vacation at the beginning of June in Ireland and Scotland and London, England.
So I'm not crazy. Okay, there was something going on.
And I am so sick of traveling. I want to go home. I want to stay at my house with my dogs.
Asian, yeah.
You're playing golf a lot, I see. Right?
I don't like traveling. I travel a lot, but I don't like it.
Not for short bursts like you're doing either.
No.
Yeah.
And I actually have a deep-seated fear of flying. I don't know if you guys know that or if anybody knows that, but terror. I have anxiety attacks on the plane, actually. Every time we hit the smallest little bump of turbulence, I'm that person on a plane going, oh my God, is everything okay? And I annoy everybody around me.
I'm afraid.
So yeah, that's my deep dark secret.
But you get hurtled through the air on a daily basis, but the airplane is too much. It's one step too far. Okay.
When something happens to that airplane, I can't just get my feet underneath me. When I'm in the air and I'm skating, I can always find my feet.
Okay.
I also am afraid of flying. I think it might be about being a control freak that we're afraid of flying. Okay.
You have no control.
Yeah.
And sometimes Eric just tells me, he's like, you know what, if something happens, there's nothing you can do. And I was like, that's the problem.
Not helpful.
Where the problem lies. I'm a terrible flyer, so all this traveling is not well for my soul.
Okay.
So what's going on with the coaching situation? You were helping Julianne and Charlie. There were reports that they were looking good in this summer, and then what the heck happened? Did you see this coming?
I didn't really see it coming. So, I was kind of new to their inside bubble, right? I knew Julianne and Charlie the way you guys know them or the way any skating fan knows them, just through seeing this pleasant, beautiful couple with great chemistry, great energy, and amazing talent performing competition. That's all I knew of them. I didn't know the more inner workings of a team. Not that I didn't think there was trouble when I kind of entered the picture, but I guess in hindsight the team was in a little bit of trouble and they were kind of trying to hang on for one last try, and I was kind of that person that was put in there as that last chance, if I could kind of manage to help things come together. And I did everything I could, but at the end of the day, I think that it was Charlie that had a different vision for his life and maybe his skating. And when somebody feels certain about that, there was no point trying to convince him otherwise.
Right.
So now have they both had tryouts, and what is the status? Have they?
I'm not aware of really anything that Charlie's been doing. And I know that Julianne is just taking some time to figure out what she wants to do. This was something that was really sudden. I don't think that she was expecting this. So it was a bit of a shock and a little bit like a hard pill to swallow, which I think it would be if I was in her shoes too. So I think that she's taking a well-needed me time this summer. And I think that that's definitely what anybody would need in that position.
Well, otherwise...
So I can't tell you what the future holds because I honestly have no idea.
I can't tell you what the future holds, but I can tell you who holds the future. Now,
I wish I could tell you what everything was going to happen, but I don't know.
Now,
but I've been coaching some other teams at the rink, like helping Bruno, the Japanese pair team that will be competing next week at a junior Grand Prix, a pair team from Austria that will be competing at the junior Grand Prix, a novice pair team in Canada, a pre-novice pair team in Canada, just helping out anybody who wants help. I really like it, actually. I've been teaching off-ice classes, which is really fun, teaching core stability work and stretch classes, which I've really enjoyed as well.
Now, tell us, there was also some news that Tara and Danny have officially switched to Delilah. Now, this was a little interesting because they're doing a new arrangement in Colorado where they've put all the coaches together, even though it didn't seem like they necessarily picked, like, this is Tom's strength, this is Tammy's strength. It just seems like they put all the coaches together and they're figuring it out. Mitch has been very keen on getting Delilah and Jim together, and he was definitely involved in the meeting. Reportedly, he told Jim that if he wanted to keep coaching Tara and Danny, he had to move to Colorado and work with Delilah. And so Tara and Danny will be working with Delilah. What do you think of this move? This is a little curious. I mean, they were working with her on the twist. Did you see this move?
I thought their twist. It was pretty good.
Okay.
To see the of that. I mean, I really like Jim. He seems like a great guy. I have no idea what he's like as a coach. I've never worked with him, but I always kind of like his energy. I always feel like very interested in what he's doing. He's very engaging. So, I mean, I don't know what they felt they were missing from that center or that school. Maybe they felt like they kind of outgrew it and just needed something more, or maybe it was the federation that pushed them over. I don't know. I guess it's too hard to tell right now. We saw a video of their twist. It looks good, but is the twist always like this, or was it one in 20 that they caught a good video of? Sometimes Eric and I hit a really good twist. We got a video of it, but then for a week we couldn't do it. We were just studying that one video where we did a good one. So, I mean, I don't know, but I know that the US FSA, I guess, is kind of reshuffling things in Colorado and trying to make that like a main training center, which kind of like what China does with their national training center. Maybe it's what the sport in the US needs, to put everybody kind of under one roof training together. Maybe it would be helpful.
Now, what did you think was the problem with their twist? Because Jonathan thinks that that Danny is getting no assist from his partner on the twist.
I think
it does. It looks a little bit like it always like rolls into the rotation as opposed to lifting and transferring into the rotation. Which, I mean, sometimes there's not really an answer to that, and sometimes it's a timing issue, and maybe we've always seen twists in competition where they've just kind of missed their timing, or it's a technique issue. They always seem to she even tried to do the triple twist with her arm over her head for a certain period of time, which I always thought was really remarkable that she could do that, because I felt like she got into her rotation so quick and she still managed to put her arm over her head. And I mean, I tried to imagine myself doing it and it would scare me. So I always I had a little bit of respect for her for being able to do that with the size of twist that they had. That was actually quite remarkable.
I would be a little nervous if I were Tara going there. Just with all love and respect to Delilah, she has definitely split up some teams in her day. And Tara has been injured going in. And Danny is a hot pair partner prospect. So
yeah, he is a very, very good skater.
Yeah.
He is top of the line pair boy. I think that everybody sees that. And I mean, they're a great team. And we saw last year how successful they could be when they were well trained and mostly healthy, like with their performances at US Nationals and 4 continents. So I mean, maybe the move is going to kind of give them a little bit of drive and motivation to bring out their best, and hopefully Deanna and Nate bring out their best, and Alexa and Chris do, and you can have a very exciting pairs field in the US. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
It would be nice, right?
And I think that Delilah.
Ashley and Tim, I'm not leaving them out for any particular reason. I just forgot about them, but put them in the mix as well. They're definitely in contention.
Yeah, I think that Delilah does well with the throws and the twist, so that could help.
And our team's usually shop well trained, but then again, so do Jim Peterson. So I mean, I don't see a difference in that category.
Well, I want to ask you about Champs Camp because we have some reports, and for August, where should a team be? I mean, the difference, I guess, here is that Colorado Springs is at altitude, but most of the pairs we heard left out their elements. So Alexa and Chris left out their jumps, They did a throw in the long. They had one fall. Ashley and Tim did no jumps in the long. They missed both throws and had a wonky lift. Deanna and Nate did all of their jumps. Nate doubled one of them. So, like, where should the teams be? Like, are they in trouble? Is this worrisome? What kind of are you thinking?
Like, I feel like when you know that you have a deadline, okay? So, like, for us, we call it high performance camp in Canada. And it would normally be, like, the first week of September. And when we started back training in June after vacation, we knew our deadline to show good performances. Of course, we wanted them to be great, but we had to be realistic. We just wanted them to be decent enough for September. But we knew that that was our deadline for needing to have been running full programs to show a respectable performance. And it's kind of like, I don't know how it is in the States, but in Canada, it was like an unspoken rule that you just did a full run through. Like, there wasn't really a choice. And I remember last year, Eric and I left out one of our spins. In our long program, that's what we chose to do. We were kind of taking things slowly with our kind of rebuilding process. And it was the first time we ever left something out at the team camp. And we chose to leave out a spin because we knew that, you know, the feedback for our spin would kind of be less important than the feedback for everything else. We didn't, the judges and the federation knew we could spin. We wanted to show them the things that had actually improved. We didn't feel like our spin had made some significant improvement that we needed to showcase it. But when you have a deadline, usually you're working towards that target. So unless you have an injury, I'm not sure why none of them did their programs in full, if that's what actually happened, unless all of them are suffering from an injury. They've been training all summer knowing that Champs Camp is coming at this time. So isn't that what they were training for all summer?
So Meagan, what were you hoping to take away from your high performance camp? Or whatever the terminology.
So it was a great chance to do a simulation because you pass the summer, like June, July, and usually August without competing. If you're kind of at that world level, you don't usually compete in the summer.
Right.
And you would be surprised how quickly you lose your feeling of a 6-minute warm-up. A couple of months pass, and all of a sudden we're in September, and we're like, oh my God, 6-minute warm-up? What's going on? Yeah. So you get jittery, you get uncomfortable, and you have to relearn how to deal with those nerves and uneasy feeling. So that was one thing that we used the team camp for sure. Another thing was to get feedback on the programs. We wanted to show the choreography in its entirety, get feedback on costumes, programs, choreography, levels from the technical specialists. So, I mean, an example of last year leaving out the spin, it was an element that we knew it was a level 4, we didn't need feedback on it. We would never have left out a twist or a lift and death spirals, where we were wanting feedback on those elements. And we always used it as a chance to get that triple lutz and quad sow or triple axel or quad lutz or whatever ridiculous thing we were doing that season. We used that as a chance to like springboard us into doing it under pressure. Every time you practice it under pressure, the better it's going to be. And I mean, I saw a lot of terrible skates at high performance camp in Canada over my years from myself and from other skaters. But that's how you learn. So you could show up at your senior B and be better prepared. If people don't do their full program at that team camp, it's hard to keep improving and prepare for your senior B in the right areas, I find.
So do you think that then they don't want to show themselves, they don't want to show weakness, and that's why they're not doing the elements? I mean, everyone...
I'm sure.
Everyone
but in August, everybody understands if you fall on something or it's not good, you're doing it for the experience so that for the next time you're going to be better. So if I went to the team camp and we fell on both, I mean, last year we did the worst long ever at our team camp. We fell on both the throws, both the jumps. I think I fell on a crosscut. Like, it was a nightmare. But we were able to be like, okay, well, this is what we need to rethink and refocus and redo and maybe change the layout of our program. So as terrible as it was, we learned so much from that experience. And I think that's what you're supposed to be doing in these times. Nobody expects you to show up at those things perfect. No, I don't think anybody from USMSA or Skate Canada expects to see amazingly spectacular performances. If you do, it's just an added bonus.
So Karen and Brady...
argument, is it better to show the omission? I mean, do they really think it's just better to avoid... I mean, if you're saying the point is to take advantage of all these technical specialists, find out these levels, it does seem absurd to leave out like all these elements where you could be potentially losing or gaining extra points, especially now. Like it seems.
And if you're a team that struggles with your jumps, don't you want every chance you get in a high pressure, stressful situation to be practicing those jumps? It's the only way they're going to get better in competition.
Yeah.
So then do you think with all the changes, they just don't feel ready? You know, they want more time.
You know what? But see, a part of me feels like they should have all showed up there. They knew the deadline and you should be ready. The way I would expect next week in Canada, all the skaters are. But then again, I'm kind of seeing across the board after the Olympics this year, a slow start, a very slow start from everyone, it seems. So is everybody just kind of taking things a little slower because it's the post-Olympic season? I don't know. We used that post-Olympic season to springboard ourselves. We saw an opportunity and we were like, we are going to seize this opportunity and we are going to own this moment. And I'm hoping to see somebody appear this year with that kind of gusto in any of the disciplines. But I feel like maybe things are kind of slow across the board from everybody, not just in the States. Maybe it's the same in Canada and in Europe. Definitely not in Russia, I don't think, but the rest of the world, maybe.
Yeah, it does look like that. I mean, so Karen and Brady didn't do their jumps, but we saw Brady do her jumps at a summer competition. So I thought that was a little...
That's very strange now, unless she has an injury.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't heard that she's injured or anything, but, Karen is always injured.
She did that triple Lutz, triple loop combo so nicely. I saw that short program video. So yes, that's kind of strange that she was ready a few weeks ago, then she wasn't ready.
So how about the Gracie Gold situation? We've seen her jumping. People have seen her practice at home. She's doing triples. I don't think they're necessarily consistent yet, but she is training. And she seems motivated, but she went to the Champs camp, and I don't think she showed triples in the practice. She did a lot of doubles. She did doubles in her run-through, left out the spins, fell in a spiral. Will we see her in Russia, conceivably, do you think, by November? Or do you think that she will pull out?
I think that she has time by November to go to an international competition, maybe with slightly watered down content than we used to see from Gracie. But I definitely think 3 months that's a long time. 3 months is a big time.
What was your biggest jumping comeback you had to do? Where maybe you had to take a certain amount of time away from certain jumps and then kind of rework them back into your warm-ups or practices?
It was the triple Lutz. I mean, when I skated with my previous partner, Craig, for 3 years, I never did any triple Lutzes. And then Eric and I started skating together, and it was like, oh, I have to relearn this again. And it took us 2 seasons to land it in competition. And it was the same Eric had for years not practiced it. So it did take us quite a long time to get it back into competition. But I do think that jump technique and jumping talent and jumping ability, Gracie is much better than Eric or I might be. So I feel confident that it could take her maybe a shorter period of time to get it back. Okay. But it will all depend on her seizing these moments in simulations and doing little competitions. Because if she doesn't compete anywhere and then go to Rust Telecom Cup, I wouldn't expect a miracle.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic. But if she's going to keep showing up and showing little improvement by little improvement by little improvement, I think that she could show up prepared to skate well in Russia. And I feel like if she decided to make this comeback, she must be taking it seriously, right? She wouldn't do this if she was half-assing. I don't think she's half-assing.
I just wonder if she can be ready right by, the deadline to do. But then
I think it'd probably be more of a mental preparation than a physical preparation for sure from her.
So if you don't have your jumps consistent and your Lutz is maybe 3 out of 7, or are you doing the Lutz then in the program, or are you just marking it? What are you doing in that run-through? Or are you not doing the run-through?
And in a run-through in general?
Yeah, if you're not, if your jumps are not consistent, right? So
you just always have to go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a full month of long programs at the Throw Quad Sow before we ever landed one. And in the program, you go for what's planned. That was kind of our focus. And if we were having a week where we couldn't do a decent triple twist, we were still trying that twist in the program. And no matter how wrong it went, we continued to do the triple Lutz and the quad sow and everything else. So, I mean, that was kind of my mentality to doing a run through. You're either doing it with everything or you're not doing it at all.
I wonder what she is doing? That would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Who is coaching her?
Vincent Restencourt. But we've seen, she clearly is still extremely talented. We saw a video of her doing a triple flip or, a triple toe, and she's
I don't think that's...
So, like Gracie Gold 2.0 this weekend at the Junior Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Koja jumps just like Gracie.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the, Junior Grand Prix. What did you think about our friend from Russia, Anna Sherbakova? So, Terry has a new crop of juniors. They're all doing quads. What do you make of them? What do you make of Anna here? The program?
Well, didn't she try a quad? I'd like to know. I wish I knew why. Because we saw that practice video of like a quadlets, triple toe, triple loop.
Yeah.
And it looked so effortless. But there was not even a triple lutz in the first half of her long program. So it's like it's not even planned in the program, or she's planning it in the second half. So I kind of wondered about that. That we've seen quads from her in videos. So why was there not an attempt? She really didn't have any competition at this event. This would have been the time to get out there and go for it and try it. I really liked her short program.
Yeah, I did.
I thought her short program was really good, nicely choreographed. I found in the long program her transitions to be a little bit much. And I can't believe I'm saying that, because don't we want transitions? But I felt like all those exits of her jumps with her leg grab and her leg over her head were lacking a little bit of purpose.
There are arbitrary.
I'm not sure why we're there.
Right. Because she hits, what I noticed in her short is that she hits every single note of music and she's right on top of it. Like, she's hitting every little nuance like Sasha would, but she's not necessarily hitting beautiful positions for a reason. Or I don't get why she puts the leg up after the flip and does, like this weird flexible position, but it's not pretty and it doesn't seem to add anything. So.
It reminds me of trying to hide someone's skating skills, but she actually has skating skills, which is then why I'm confused why they're applying like a disguise when no disguise is needed.
That's funny that you say that, because when I watched her short program, I was like blown away. I was actually like thinking that she's such a better skater. Beautiful skating skills and nice jumps. And then I watched her long, and then I was like, I don't have the same impression anymore. Felt like it was
just another
for no reason.
Yeah.
It's a lot of costume.
And I know that happens. You want to be checking the boxes. We did the same thing where it's like, we're going to put so many transitions, and then the judges were like, I don't really see a purpose to your transitions. And we were like, you're right. We don't really feel a purpose either. So,
but you require it, so we're doing it.
So I kind of get why she did it, but I don't get why she needs it, because she's such a great skater.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of
I'd rather beautiful running edge out of one or two or three of her jumps.
Yeah, it was really in the jumps after, like, Dave, we were making a joke about that leg thing is like the biggest ends. But also like these little hops, these little pushes after a lot of the things, it just no moment was able to land.
And I felt like there was like some notes of music that she could have suspended a movement on, and in the long program, and it just was kind of ignored.
Yeah.
Which is she's 14 years old, so it's so hard to expect.
I don't with her. Do you think like in these moments as we talk about this, I don't know that the fault lies with Anna as much as it would lie with Danny or who's ever crafting the program.
That's true. Do you find that some of these little girls, they have such adult like music?
Yeah.
Like I wonder, like does that music inspire a 13-year-old? I wonder. I imagine myself at 13 years old.
Well, and I'm trying to remember, and so many teenagers do go through that, like, kind of emo, angsty kind of thing. So I'm like, are they all responding to this music because they're like teenagers with feelings, or is this the formula? Add some rain sounds, do some pantomime. Well, it's a dramatic story, no one will understand. Just do what we say and you'll win. And she's a good student, so she does it. I don't know.
She was a happy Russian. She was throwing the ice, okay? When they throw the snow from the ice, it's a good day, okay?
They throw that.
Yeah. Well, she has great stuff. I mean, I do think that she's a great skater. I think that she has so much potential. And she's so great, and she's so young. And I just wonder about like the purpose with her movements. But does a purpose to your skating only develop as you mature? Is that what makes Carolina Costner's beautiful and beautiful intention when she skates so amazing? Because she's this mature woman and a 13-year-old just not capable of that. Or if developed properly, could a 13-year-old be capable of that?
I think they have to be encouraged to try and to find it. That's my only thing is because she has that kind of intangible thing already, but then I just wonder if this camp doesn't even. They should be exploiting that instead of hiding it by even the Kosternaya, who I love so much, the fact that they were so up on her to try that triple axel, I was like, I feel like you're missing the point of what you have here. She doesn't even need one. Like, why aren't you creating masterful historical programs for her? Why are we worried about an element? You know, it seems to detract from the real talent that was in front of them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a developing system.
Yeah.
I do worry for her a bit in the Eteri school when they have the 3 juniors who are so neck and neck, the same age going after, Zigitova, because we were hearing, I guess we had a friend that was at Orser's camp in Toronto, and he was talking about Medvedeva and how Eteri stopped speaking to her once she lost the short program at the Olympics. Like, Eteri was done. Her feedback from the Russian Federation was like, go have babies. It's just...
So I wonder, interesting story. I wonder how dedicated is Iteri? I don't even know how you say it. Iteri to the junior skaters. Because I was at the Grand Prix final last year. And I was on the bus going to, I forget if it was my short or my long program. And Iteri was on the bus with me. And then I said to Bruno, I think the junior ladies are competing now. Why is she only on the bus now?
Well,
And the bus up to the ring during the 6-minute warm-up, and then she just went to the boards while they skated. So she wasn't there before they skated, and she wasn't there on their 6-minute warm-up. So it makes me wonder, like, how involved is she with these junior girls? Or is she really not involved with them until they reach the senior level? Is it her stable of coaches that are more responsible for them?
Because it seems all like just observations from the sideline, but kind of that connection you see Danny have with kind of each of, it seems like really sweet older brother, like uncle kind of quality, like he's really invested in more than the skating. So something about that to me is an indicator that he's really bringing up kind of this crop in a very different way than she is, I think.
That's the impression that I get as well, and that I get being there kind of in person. So I think that you kind of hit it right on the money with that.
But I think she decides who stays and who goes. I think she's directing.
Yeah. Right. She's choosing who's invited to skate there and who's not. Yes, she's kind of like the head manager up here, and then she's got everybody working for her. Clearly doing good work underneath her.
Yeah. So that was.
The other Russian. I thought that she was Iteri's skater, but I guess she's not. Trusova.
Not Trusova. But it sounds like that. It's like Trusina, who was second.
The one here, or the one who does the quads?
No, the girl who was second here.
Oh, the girl who was second here is not an Eteri girl.
No, I thought she was. But regardless if she is or not, like, how did she do 2 combination change foot spins in her long program? How do you just do that? There's no way her coach or her choreographer put 2 of the same spins in her program. They know you can't do that. So when you run a program every day the same, how do you just do the wrong spin? I'm trying to understand it. And I'm trying to, like, Eric and I get to the last lift in our long, but we just do the wrong lift. How is that possible? You train your program every single day with certain elements.
And she clearly does. She didn't seem like she was like improvising a la Christopher.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, how did she happen? Like, I guess one of the spins was meant to have a fly into it for a flying change foot combination spin. And it's like she just forgot to fly.
She was completely invalidated.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
So I was really curious about the protocols, how it was going to look with the +5, -5 Jewy. And I found that it's just as full of shit, if not more, as some of the marks we would see before. Because
of course.
what we saw is that the technical specialist for last name was Bravenko, and the assistant technical specialist last name was Fedchenko, and that girl Drusina didn't get a flutz, and she didn't get any under rotation on her triple sow cow, which was like
oh my god, it was a half
turn. So
I went and looked. There also her. I forget if it was a flip. I think it was a flip toe and long. They were definitely under, if not downgraded. One of them, and it got full credit as well.
Yeah,
there's a real
for her.
with the marathons on all those channels.
But they did call her spin. You know, they called her spin because she could fix that. But maybe the flutz, they didn't. It was just strange. And
I mean, you didn't even need a review on that sow cow to see the under rotation. Right. It was clearly in full speed. But granted, for all of that, I actually really liked her. I really liked her musicality. I liked her arms. I liked the command and the confidence that she had. She had great energy. She engaged me more than anybody, more than any of these other young Russian girls. She drew me into her performance.
See, I liked Anna the best. I really did like the one who won. So
I just think like this girl who was such a strong, solid second. I don't think we're going to hear from her again this season. I don't think as wonderful as she was, as lucky as we would be to have her in North America. I don't think she's going to come anywhere near that final. You know what I mean?
I was watching her long program.
Yeah.
And a few jumps that were downgraded. And the first thought, my first thought was that she had a great performance and a great quality to engage me. And then I was like, how did she ever make it out of Russia? Like, she's not even that good. And then I was like, how am I thinking that this isn't even that good?
Yeah.
She just did more than any Canadian lady is doing right now.
Right.
But yes, you're right. She's going to get lost in the shuffle in Russia.
It's too bad, because like you're saying, there are many fine qualities, but just the way this works, we're not going to hear from her.
Exactly.
I don't know, when Ioana Yokoi from Japan skated out in her costume, I was like, oh, this is a Japanese Phantom. What is it about their costuming? Was she mimicking Hanyu's costume? Like, why did I just know, like, that is what was coming? Like, it was just, there was something about the fade of the colors, and I was like, oh, it's a Japanese Phantom. This is what it was. I don't know what happened. She had really big jumps. No stretch.
You know what liked her? There was something endearing. And she was so happy at the end, and so happy for her. And she was powerful and strong. And clearly kind of having the skate of her life and seizing that moment. I thought that maybe she should score a little higher than she did. I don't know. But I guess she skated so early because of her placement in the short program.
Yeah, it was short. It was a tough
jump.
And I found her program just had so much going on. Some of the Japanese skaters have a lot happening on their costumes, and particularly on their skirts.
Yeah.
And they're such tiny people with like little hips, and then they have all this material on their skirt. I always find it a little interesting.
I really liked the Korean girl.
The one with Tommy.
Young you. I thought she had really nice things. So as I was reading up on her, and I'm not poking fun at a nationality or language or anything like that, but like when I would read on Wikipedia, and it would be like, you won the Korean championship, and you did this, and I was like, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? And I was like, oh, right. Her last name. Okay, got it. Yeah, it's just like, you was the youngest champion, even younger than Unit Kim or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay. But
she's a really nice skater.
Her short program was very effective. That was the Shay Lin program. And the Vina program for me was a little... It's so funny. If I had just seen one, I would have had a totally different takeaway. If I had just seen the short, I would have walked away with like, she's on fire, she's going to be great, like it's just a matter of time. And then if I had just seen the long, I might have been like, it's fine. You know, it was so interesting how two different artistic voices left me with such a different impression, right down to the aesthetic and the skating itself, was so much more powerful in the tango, I thought, in the short.
It's so interesting though that skating has the ability to do that. And it might also play with the skater's confidence, from program to program as well.
Yeah.
They might feel better with a certain piece of music or choreography, and they feel more confident, so they attack it more, which engages you as a viewer. And because they're confident, they land their jumps. And then when they have a program where they kind of know it's the lesser of the program, they skate inward and down, and then they have less confidence.
I have often seen skaters apologizing for the material as they skate.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like people go to Shaylin for the fun program? Like I thought the girl from Hong Kong had the fun Shaylin Long program, and then the Marina Long, if she gives a lady, she did like, so this was My Fair Lady that Young Yu did, and it reminded me exactly of when Alyssa did Gone with the Wind. Like it's just bland, feminine, like old movie blandness.
I'm just so sick of these generic ladies programs. I want to see some lady like or child in the junior event, if I can call them that. I want to see somebody like come out with this long program that is so off the wall and crazy and amazing and creative. I feel like all the other disciplines have kind of like ventured out with their musical choices, but the ladies skating has kind of still stayed very generic. Very classical. And if they're going to experiment, it tends to be with a short program. And I'm just waiting for some lady to come out and experiment with something crazy and wild for a free skate.
Something
bad. I feel like I'm going to love them just because they're different.
Because they try, and this is even my thing with like Piper and Paul. It's like I just know I'm going to get something. They're trying to achieve something. Make a statement, create a moment,
and try to be different and stand out.
Instead of trying so hard to follow all the steps to literally just be like everyone else. You look at the choreography list, you look at the music list, and it was like, oh, why your version of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. And I like that girl from Hong Kong.
Yes, Florence Against the Machine.
Why did China let her go? She used to skate for China. Like this young prodigy, and with the Olympics coming up in Beijing, I can't believe that China released her to skate for Hong Kong.
And she's a Tammy Gamble. So
and for how long has that been happening? I see her on the ISU bio. She's had many coaches. This girl. Her list of coaches is quite long. So I don't know how long she's been with Tammy.
It's just funny to me that I think that like this Colorado Skating Academy is doing well for Hong Kong and for Korea, and Tom seems to love the Korean girl. No hope for Americans. We have like zero prospects that it's helping so far, but
maybe one day. Maybe it's going to come. Maybe it's going to help develop. Maybe Hong Kong and Korea skaters are going to help develop U.S. female skaters.
Well, apparently Mirai is training again there, and it's supposed to compete at nationals. Apparently she looks pretty good. So.
Maybe she wants a national title.
Well, the snarky observation was she was the best looking girl at Champs Camp, but she was actually just happenstance practicing in a rink nearby. She was there. Exactly.
So talking about the men, what are we going to do about tour?
Ladies, I really like that American girl.
Oh, Pooja. Yeah.
I pronounced her name. And when she skated her long program and then her score came up, I was like a little bit disappointed because I thought that she might score a little bit higher. I understand her base value was lower than the other girls, even though she did a triple combination and a bunch of other triples. But I liked her like Gracie Gold. Old school Gracie Gold skating. I liked it.
Yeah.
So Alex just needs to really work on her speed, I thought, because she can do the jumps, but she doesn't have the same speed that Gracie did. But she really does have everything else.
But she gets spring as Gracie did. I just thought that she had kind of she was one of the few girls who chose a different type of music for the free skate. But she kind of skated small with it. She didn't open up and expand as much as I guess I would have liked to that type of more exotic style of music.
It wasn't a fit then. I thought because the reason I did not know about her skating until San Jose at Nationals this past year. And it was very musical. She was listening to the music. She responded to the music. So I'm like, I'm here for this. This is great. I can't wait to see what she chooses next season. So then I I was that jerk that just saw the choreographic choices and the music selections. It's a little like Lion King and Samson and Alila. It's just kind of like, this is like, actually in a way, it's like generic exoticism. But I appreciated the idea to do something exotic. I wish they like really went there. And there was something very Tanya Kwiatkowski-esque about
Scott Brown. Scott Brown clearly did the programs. Brad did the dresses.
Costumes,
She
kind of has potential, and I've never heard of her before, so I was quite surprised.
What I like about her is that I saw her compete with the nationals that Tessa Hong won, so she was a juvenile or an intermediate, and I think, everyone else had a double axel, she had a single axel, but she's clearly stuck with it, and I don't think any of the other girls are even still skating, that were all above her, beating her at that event. So I think that's interesting that she's still...
I feel like that could be somebody to kind of follow up with the future and see if she develops she has all the skills, nice skating skills, just to kind of develop that personality on the ice and come out with some unique musical choices.
Unique and develop that personality is exactly it. Because again, to me, I just felt like that generic, just add water, American formula.
Yeah.
And I was just like, again, my thing with some of those people, when I know they kind of have this next level ability to emote and stuff like that, I'm sad to not always see it encouraged. Like, I want someone for her to be their muse, and like they just like create all this great stuff together. So I hope that's the future.
I just think Alex does not focus on the programs at all, because when Gracie was also with him and using Scott, her programs were also just missing the mark. So I think like this girl, she just needs some speed and a different choreographer. She could get the fun program from Shaylin and do something a little different then. Well, But what did you think of the men? Okay, because Torgashev has been such a talent in the U.S., and then he just does not deliver ever when we send him out to a junior Grand Prix. What is going on with him, Meagan? Because he looks like he should be.
Didn't he win the Grand Prix final last year?
No, he was bad at the junior Grand Prix final. Oh my gosh. I saw his first time. I think he went through from the junior Grand Prix final last year. Maybe.
Chris Nojant got hurt at Junior World. Yeah. So. Yeah.
But I saw him at the Junior Grand Prix final last year. Andrew, the one you
Yes.
And he was on practices just popping everything all the time. And I'd never seen him before. So my first impression was that this poor boy had a bad mental problem. Like mental problem with rotating his jumps, which developed into kind of a bad attitude on the ice. That was kind of the demeanor that I got. So I was a little bit turned off by that. But then when I watched parts of his performance here this past weekend, I felt like he has so much potential that I didn't realize on watching him do those terrible practices at the Grand Prix final last year. He kind of does that weird axel technique that Liam Pierce used to do when he could never land a triple axel. So far back, off balance, throwing himself and swinging into the air. And then I saw Christy was with him in the Kiss and Cry. So I was like, okay, I guess that's the way she's still kind of teaching axels. Bless her, I love her so much. She's one of my favorites. So I feel like he has a lot of potential if he could just kind of wrap around some solid technique and some mental strength.
Her axles are, because his axle has never been his strength. So they're clearly using that
same. He does it the exact same way as Liam, and Liam could never do it. So maybe time to kind of redo it. Technical strategy.
Well, and then even in the commentary, were they saying he works with Joshua Ferris or something? No.
Oh, I didn't know. For choreography.
Oh, okay.
Joshua's working at the rink now. So he shows up in Instagram photos and stuff. So
that's nice for him to still be involved.
Meagan, before I forget, can we talk a little bit about the Itiri technique with the flip and the Lutz? We were talking about this in a chat earlier, and I can't quite remember. We were trying to isolate pictures about the way they approached it, and it was kind of similar to the way Dmitry Aliyev does, like his loop and things like that. Did anything stick out to you about that Itiri school of the Lutz and the flip?
They were talking about the pick that like they're rotating on the ice. You know, they're pre-rotating.
Yeah, they do a lot of pre-rotation. And that kind of seems to be, I don't know if it's because of pro skaters being successful. It kind of seems to be the technique that a lot of skaters and coaches are kind of adapting to, is this pre-rotation on the ice a little bit. I mean, it's not really the way that I was taught to jump when I was, 20 years ago when I was learning triple jumps. Technique has changed a lot. But I do find that the loop flip and lutz from her skaters are all very similar with that free rotation. Sometimes the left leg stays on the ice a little bit too long. But it doesn't seem like they get discredited or get lose points for it. So if you're not losing points, if the judges are still giving you a high score and the technical panel's still giving you a clean jump, why would you fix it?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I can imagine it like that's their mentality about it.
Okay.
Will that be the next thing that the caller is looking for, do you think?
Well, they're supposed for their rotation on the takeoff.
Yeah.
An under-rotated or downgraded jump can be on a takeoff or a landing. So, but we often see some pre-rotated jumps that don't get called under-rotated.
Yeah.
So apparently Brian's been working on Medvedeva's flip and her lutz. So he's been working on both of them, trying to fix them. So I think that that's interesting too. I'm curious to see how she will be judged compared to Zagitova in the same event. If Medvedeva does bigger jumps and Zagitova's doing some of the more Atari technique, what will happen and how they will be judged, and who will get the support.
How do you say? I always call it Zagitova, but I don't think that you.
So the emphasis.
I think that Zagitova, like the emphasis on the GI.
Zagitova actually jumps more than most of Italy's skaters. She gets a little bit more lift on her jumps. Her lutz and her loop are actually quite big, with less rotation. So she's one of the few that actually gets the lift. But we'll see how Evgenia has developed over her time with Brian and his team in Toronto.
Yeah.
I guess I'm curious about the components then. Like, will we see a difference with Medvedeva's components? Compared to.
I would think so. I would hope so. I think that she is going to actively be working to improve that. I can guarantee you, knowing that girl, that she is actively taking every step possible to improve that aspect of her skating.
Yeah.
So I would hope to see some changes because of the effort that she will be giving.
And the packaging itself, I think, can help us appreciate those skills even more.
Yes.
Without all that distraction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
So touring with her, what do you know about her just from, watching her train or watching her practice? What have you gotten to know about Medvedeva?
Oh, she's such a nice girl. She's so nice and so kind and so gentle, and so is her mom. Her mom is so sweet. We spent 2 weeks in Japan. It was about 2 weeks in Japan this spring when she was still injured, so she wasn't really jumping, but she would still do all her practice sessions, and she couldn't even do spin variations because I guess her back was so bad. But she would just skate through the choreography of her program and practice like basic camel spin, basic sit spins. And I mean, she was like very bubbly with everybody and super nice and wanting to learn the choreography and asking a lot of questions to Jeff Buttle, who was choreographing. She wanted to make sure that she understood. So I can see that she has the willingness to be better. So I think that given the right environment, she'll be able to strive.
Apparently Brian is obsessed with her, is what everyone was saying. That he.
I don't know anyone that wouldn't like that girl. And even her mother, they're just so nice. Even though I was only really with them for 2 weeks, I can't. 2 weeks doesn't tell you a lot about a person, but I think I have a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, interesting with the men. What did you think of Mitsuki Sumoto? I really liked him. I have to say that I thought that he had a lot of really good skating skills compared to the other men. Like his knee bend just across the ice. I don't know about his jumping future.
Do, right? Like those Japanese skaters have such great it's like a stride, like a wave to their skating. They have such a natural knee and ankle bend, and they skate so fluidly. It's so nice. And I feel like I did shows with that little boy before when he was younger, but I have such a hard time remembering because there's just so many great Japanese skaters. I always forget like which one was which. But he definitely has very nice skating skills, amazing talent. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to develop consistent quads.
I thought it was funny because you could see his hair. He skated so fast that his hair was actually moving the whole program. So I was like, it was like he had a wind machine going on. I thought he was really endearing. I don't know if he's going to stand out in Japan compared to.
It's my problem. It's hard for me to keep a consistent my interest there. Like I find myself kind of zoning it. But it was all lovely. But it was hard for me to stick with it.
Yeah, is it? I found it was really nice too, and maybe it just falls into that like generic, very nice skating, but we're just looking for that something special.
Yeah,
and it's kind of missing that je ne sais quoi.
Unfortunately, I always find from Japanese skaters. So also I come with that bias of like, oh, you must, because you come from the same country, obviously you're going to blow my mind. But I've seen him. We've seen him several times at other, junior events and things like that, and often I kind of am like, oh no, I have seen him,
So. You just forget that you saw him. I mean, that was kind of my impression too. It's like, did I see him in a show? I think I did. I think I did some shows with him before.
Exactly.
But I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But very nice and pleasant skater. I mean, extremely talented.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the new Patrick Chan in Canada, Steven Gogolev, who's clearly going to win your senior nationals. I keep forgetting that he competes senior because he is so young. So
he's already senior last year.
I know that very young, but his look is particularly boring.
I wouldn't call him the next Patrick Chan. He doesn't have the skills program or the flair that Patrick did at 13 years old, but he's extremely talented. Crazy good, and he probably will win nationals.
I meant in terms of dominance. I think he's going to be the next big champion in Canada. No, he's not the next Patrick in terms of any of those things. But I do think he does seem to have a lot of talent and he's been consistently getting better through the years. Like it wasn't just like a...
I do like a natural. I don't want to say it's natural. Probably not. I see an improvement in his speed and his command and his posture when skating this year. His jumps seem a little bit bigger, a little bit more powerful, which was definitely needed if he wants to contend at the very top. I mean, I know he kept his short program from last year, which I mean was nice, but I'm kind of over it. I wish he had a new one. But maybe I'm just being picky. Maybe it's just me. I guess he's at a disadvantage during the junior Grand Prix in the short by not being able to do a quad. But he definitely, I mean, I love his quad toe in the long program. I didn't know he could do a quad toe. I just knew it was down in the left. I really liked that quad toe. It was like butter. It was so smooth.
Do you think the boys his age kind of go through like a thing where they don't know what the heck to skate to? I always feel like when boys get to around like 14, they don't know, or the
kind of like the first age.
Yeah, like there's like a very awkward skating stage where they don't know how to be super artistic, or else they're like, the little gay boys are always like super artistic at like 13 and 14, but the other ones seem like completely devoid of, they don't know what to do with their skating unless it's like
yeah. I could see that, but I mean, he's surrounded by such a great team and such experienced choreographers. And I hope I see the development from him this year, and I hope it continues, and that this isn't. We're not seeing the very best of him yet. I hope that it's going to keep growing and growing, which is so hard to know when somebody is so young, how his body is going to handle it. I don't know if he trains 1 million hours a day. I mean, if he does, his body is going to be in trouble. If he's 13 and he's doing these quads, but he's training just a few hours a day and taking care of his body off the ice, I think he's going to be healthy for a long time. So, but I don't know him personally enough to know what way he trains.
Now, just go with me and try not to hate me for this question. But so many times when I'm looking at a junior Grand Prix event like this, and I see, for instance, Anna Shcherbakova, I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this. Like, there's a frailty there. Her feet look enormous, so heavy to me.
Ankles.
Yeah, something about it is just kind of a red flag, and it just ties me in again that sometimes when I'm watching ladies or whatever at this level that I'm looking for those talents that will surpass this period. Do you know what I mean?
Like have longevity.
Yeah, exactly. So now with some of these men, you know, you look at somebody like Torgashev, and then you look at somebody like Gogolev, and you realize like they are also in such different body positions, yet I don't seem to worry about the boys making the same kind of transition, but perhaps I should. How would you compare like the level from when you were competing, really what stood the test of time in those junior Grand Prix?
See, it's funny. I watched. I started tuning into the junior men's long program, and they were in, I don't know, an early warm-up group. And I was seeing every skater 13 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old. And I was thinking, like, when I did junior Grand Prix, I don't remember little boys.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing little boys on a junior Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Kevin Reynolds was like, he really stood out on the junior Grand Prix because, believe it or not, Kevin used to be like super, super small. But the rest of them were kind of like grown teenagers.
Right.
So I feel like this is a bit of a new phase with the men's skating to have these young boys doing all these jumps and these quads. But again, like going to the ladies, like you can kind of see when they have maybe bigger feet, like you said, or super skinny ankles, and they're less compact. That's when they might struggle in the future. When I see a skater that's got kind of a more compact body, I'm not so worried about them sustaining the test of time.
Okay.
And I think it comes a lot with mental strength too.
Okay.
You know, Carolina Costner used to be one of, when I was doing junior Grand Prix, she was super skinny and I don't want to say she had big feet because I don't think that she had big feet, but you know, she had skinny ankles and but she definitely like was able to kind of grow into an adult and like surpass that to become a better skater. And she probably did that because she's a mentally strong athlete. So I suppose it varies on the person.
And then to get your take, also we had Raphael on, and he was talking about the potential, you know, hip and ankle trauma that can be happening to girls this age when we see these repeated quads done and things like that. As someone who's landed with pro quads and things like that, like could you have imagined doing those kinds of feats and taking that kind of impact at that age and how that might have affected you?
Like, I don't know. Because I learned through quads, I guess, at like an older age, but my body was at a different, at the other end, you know, at 30 years old than it is at 13 years old.
Right.
So I feel like it's kind of similar in a way. Because I'm not really like in my prime, even though I feel like I am. But I have no hip problems, no feet problems, I don't have any issues from doing 2 different throw quads and throw triple axels and falling, sometimes landing, sometimes falling terribly, because I took care of my body. So when I study, that might be, pardon?
You're also a female skater that doesn't have food issues, you know, and some of those
girls. This is something else. And I mean, when I was 13, I was doing all my triples, and I was practicing triples at 14, 15. But I was always like a strong skater, and I had a compact body. So I feel like maybe that's a little bit different than skaters that might be a little bit more frail and skinny, I want to say. Because I remember when I wanted to learn the throw quad, our coach, Richard Gauthier, was like, no, you can't. Everybody who does a throw quad break strength. You're going to get injured, and you're not doing it. And he told me that for 3 years. And I would tell him, I'm not going to get injured. I'm strong. I can take care of my body. I can handle tough balls. I'll be okay. And it took me 3 years to convince them that I wouldn't get injured doing the throw quad. And I think I made a good point that it's possible to do it and stay healthy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we need to wait and see how these kids turn out. What type of coaching they have, their mental strength, what they're doing to take care of their body off the ice will play a big effect in staying healthy. If they're just skating for 5 hours a day and just doing quads and triple axles, and then going home and not eating and not seeing proper therapists or doing proper training, yes, they will struggle.
Yeah.
I think when you see the Atari students and you see the documentaries on them talking about controlling their weight and starving themselves, and then you see Anna Sherbakova come out, it is, concerning, I would think.
Yes,
yeah.
It is.
You've seen Yulia, and you've heard Medvedev.
Healthy athletes that can thrive being healthy and feeling good about themselves and their body and go on with the rest of their life after sport without any issues. It's so sad when I see those articles. Like I think Zagitova did an article about limiting the water she drinks this summer.
Yeah,
Some article she was like, oh, if I drink too much water, then I don't drink the next day. And I've heard a lot of Russian girls say this because they don't want to have water weight. Well, I'm sorry, don't you want to be hydrated? When you're not hydrated, you get inflammation and you have massive headaches and migraines. Don't you just want to feel good? Because if you feel good, you will train well and perform well. So I just
understand. Why would she
not eating and not taking care of your body? Because it feels good to feel good. And you skate better when you feel good. You skate better when you're happy. Come on, all these things are very important.
It seems like
when I read interviews about skaters, I just eat apples, or I try not to drink water. My God.
Yeah, I would be curious because I think when you see the skaters, the pair girls that are lasting into their 30s, you have to see what did Aliona do? What did you do? Why are they lasting and then these other girls can't do it? There's clearly a difference, in who lasts and who doesn't. So, what did you think of the pairs here? Because there were the Russian sweep.
I'm so sorry, Dave. Really quick before we move on. I just have two more comments about the men. One is that Italian kid who got his bronze medal here. And he definitely was wearing nude bedazzled gloves for the short program. And the B. Arthur, Dorothy's Fornak nightshirts from the Golden Girls, and I was definitely I am here for this gentleman. He's definitely an artist, entertainer, and even though I'm not really buying what he's selling, I appreciate that he's trying.
He's a great Instagram, too.
Something stood out about him to me as well. Actually, I found myself wanting to watch him and kind of drew me in with a unique energy. And I feel like he does have potential. I just wish he would fix his posture going into his lust.
That he's that out there already. I feel very confident that as he continues to mature, fun things will happen there. And I was surprisingly into the skating of Roman, the Russian. I was very surprised that I did not expect to be so taken with it, and it was kind of a bit more broad, freeing, not what I was anticipating from him. That was a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah, I thought that he was really, really good as well, and I'm going to be interested to see both of those skaters' development. I liked both of them.
Yeah, I was there.
And I saw a lot of videos of the Italian boys quadlet. It was a shame that he kind of took a hard fall without the rotation in the long program. But I'm sure that he's going to be able to correct that well for his next event.
Yeah.
He's so on top of his Instagram and stuff. You just know he's going to be one of those out there European male skaters. But
I think it's a coach that's more into the posting about him.
Okay.
I think
he tags us in every post that he ever does. So I definitely knew that he was going to be there, and I like him.
They were so happy.
I want to ask you about the pairs in particular, because I know your bane of your existence is that they've devalued the throw quad and the quad twist. So what are we going to see? What is going to really differentiate the pairs on the senior level this year? What should we really be looking
at? Junior
Yeah.
Well, I first just think it's such a shame that you're putting a limit on what athletes can do. Can you imagine somebody told Usain Bolt, no, you can't run that fast. It's dangerous. Come on. It's a sport is a sport, and if somebody wants to take it to the extreme, allow them to. That's their choice. So I do think
into the quad throws, it seems like it's in reaction.
Ridiculous reduction. It went down like 3 points. It's worth almost the same as a flow triple lutz now at throw quads out.
Yeah.
And having personally done both, there is no comparison in which one is harder.
Right.
A few years ago, now I feel like I can just say all of this stuff. I don't know if I said this last time I was on the show. A few years ago, we were at the World Championships in 2015. And before the short program, our coach, Richard, was telling us, the ISU is talking and they're going to be lowering the value of the triple lutz because they don't want teams winning pairs competitions because of a triple lutz. And which I thought was really funny because we won that World Championships by like 7 points. So we could have just done a triple toe and we still would have won. So anyways, when he told us that before we competed the short program, I was like, wait till they see it. That just motivated me to land an even better triple lutz. Like it was my power through the 2015 World. And then the next year, the triple chow and the triple toe base value went up. But the loop flip and the lutz didn't. So all it did for singles and pairs was bring the sow and the toe up closer to the loop flip and lutz. And Eric and I asked a lot of specialists about why did that happen? What's the reason? And everybody told us they didn't know. Everybody that we asked from the ISU couldn't answer us. But that year, Slow and Klimov were doing a side-by-side triple toe combination. So that was a clear answer to us. We didn't need somebody from the ISU telling us. So this had already happened after the 2015 season. And the talk about lowering the throw quad element we've heard about for many years. And I mean, it's a shame because nobody's going to be pushing the envelope. We'll still see. I'm sure we'll see beautiful throw triple sows and beautiful throw triple loops. But isn't it nice to kind of get that wow factor and that excitement? Like I love being like, are the French going to do it this time? When Eric and I wanted to do the throw quad, it was because Shui and Han were doing the throw quad. And it was so exciting. And I was like, I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that excitement.
Well, and it seems so funny because, Dave and I had many conversations last year during the Olympics when a lot of the men's, disciplines at various competitions were becoming splat fest because everyone was just trying so hard to push as far as they could until they figured out where the appropriate, place was for the pendulum to land. And to me, that was where maybe we were going to expect something, some limitation, some devaluation. But like for it to have come out of the pairs where I felt like it was only enhancing. It did not become a scene where we saw 15 pairs attempt to throw quad and 15 pairs fell. And event was ruined. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't happening, so it seems confusing.
And I mean, it should be nice for the skaters to have the chance to push the sport where they can.
Yeah.
Where if a team can do an amazing quad twist, give them the opportunity. I want to see an amazing quad twist. If a team can do a throw quad out, give them the opportunity to and make it worth it.
Yeah.
And if a team can do a triple lutz triple toe combination, make it worth it for them to do that because by all means, that's just pushing the sport forward. It's making it exciting that each person, and if somebody can push the sport artistically and with these beautiful programs like Aliona and Bruno did, allow them to and reward it.
Yeah.
I'm all for rewarding what people are doing and what they're doing well. And I mean, it's just sad because I highly doubt we're ever going to see any throw quads again. And maybe we're going to see quad twist again. I'd be surprised. I'm not too sure if we'll see people attempt them this year or not.
I don't buy the health reason that they give because they did not devalue the quads in singles, and they don't seem to even have an issue with the juniors.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
And
I felt like I should just compete one more year without the throw quad and still do well and prove that we could still do it without a throw quad. But I'm not going to. But I sometimes wish I would.
So the interesting thing is that
you do like You do want to see like a beautiful landed throw. I get it. When the Chinese land a beautiful throw, or the Russians, and it's effortless and it's seamless on one foot, and it's nicely done. It is beautiful. We can do throw triple sow as with the same ease and grace as them, but we can also go for the throw quad and land it. And that was a personal decision that we wanted to do that. And so why not reward the person who will choose to kind of take that
risk? Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
The head of the ISU, who's the vice president, not the head of the ISU, the vice president of the ISU was a statistician from Russia, so I think that's very interesting about how he's working the numbers and has figured out.
They wanted to do studies on how dangerous the throw quad was. I heard that the ISU wanted to do that, so I volunteered to be part of a study to show how safe the throw quad was.
Yeah.
Nobody responded to me about that. Isn't that fun?
Funny enough, yeah.
I think this year, going back to your original question of what's going to separate pairs, because I've kind of veered off track with my little rant. I'm sorry about that. I mean, lifts are going to play a major factor this year. The new rules for lifts are going to make lifts extremely complicated, extremely intricate. I think we're going to see a lot of changes of position in lifts this year because that's what's required with the new rules. But when you change positions a lot in the lift, you have to slow down. So we might not see speed and flow and ice coverage in lifts the way that we have in the past. I have a feeling that maybe for the first half of the season, we're going to see a lot of pair teams miss lifts because people are doing such complicated lifts right now from what I've just seen with a few teams. Because the only way to get level 4s is to be changing positions so much and going on one hand right away and doing difficult entries as well as difficult exits, which will make somebody who does it well, it'll look really cool, but I think we're going to see a lot of people trying lifts that are too hard for what they're capable of, and then they'll find their balance of what's possible.
So in my notes, I really liked the lifts of the team that finished second here. And I liked the lifts of the team that finished third. They both have the same coach, who coached Petrova and Tikhonov. I found that the team that won, Mishina and Galamov, I thought that they were really boring, and really slow the whole time, and that their lifts were quite dull. Even though they seemed like they were checking the boxes more.
And they won by quite a bit. Like they led by quite a bit for whatever reason.
I kind of like. I can't tell you why I like the team that came first. Maybe it's just because they skated clean and their elements were very pristine and nicely done.
Did the triple sow have to triple sow, right?
The triple sow.
It's super twirl, eh? Like I find it really impressive. The twist and the jump that she's able to do.
Yeah.
Oiler. Yes, it's now called an Oiler. Capital E, lowercase u. But when I watched them, what I was thinking of was Enbert and Zabiako. Beautiful, great quality elements, but sometimes boring. And I was watching this team, and I was thinking, are they less boring than Enbert and Zabiako? Could they beat them at Russian Nationals? With a higher face value and similar level of performance. I find it so interesting because they are capable of doing great twists, great lifts, great jumps, great throws. They're both great skaters. But sometimes I find that they along with some of the other Russian skaters, sometimes they don't even bother trying to look at each other. They match their unison, they match their arms, they match their legs, they match their heads. Everything matches so well. But they don't look at each other, they don't engage with the audience, they don't engage with each other, which leaves me feeling a little bit bored.
Megan, were you hoping that two would skate as one in the first time battle? Okay, got it.
I did actually enjoy the first place team. I was quite impressed with what they were able to do. I remember her a few years ago skating with her other partner. And she's kind of grown into a woman now, and I have a lot of respect for what she's able to do still with skating. And that I think that this guy is a nice solid pair boy. I think that they might have a future if they can develop a little bit of personality.
I thought that they lacked speed and they lacked personality, and the second half really was quite cautious and slowed down a lot.
It was. Their lifts were nice, but a little bit slow.
And again, that intrigues me. Again, I did not compete these jumps, but like having chosen to do the double axels in the short, and then doing the two, the what did you call it? An Euler?
Yeah, that's the word. The IFT has decided a half loop is now called an Euler.
Okay. Then the triple sow, Euler, triple sow, and then triple cholas. Like I just never understood why that people didn't make it as uniform as possible. Like why they wouldn't.
You have to do a double axel in the short of junior. You have to do a double. You can't do.
I didn't realize that. And then
so you can't even do a triple.
Even
only like my partner and I, like way back when, we did a side by side triple lutz at Canadian Nationals, and then we went to Junior Worlds and had to do a double axel. So you have to do a double jump.
Again, it seems outrageously archaic.
Yeah.
To be yeah.
Unless it's the year of the double lutz in junior, then you have to do a double lutz. You can't even choose a double axel. And I feel like that's always kind of my funnest junior pairs year to watch, because you have all these like great skaters that can do throw triples and quad twists, and they can't even do a correct double lutz. they were taking the pairs and they stopped practicing their lutz. That's really what it seems to me like. So I find that year kind of the funniest, but this year it's people are doing a flipper and a double axel.
Okay.
So I thought that the second place team, Parfilova and Relov, had so much personality, and that they had really huge, I mean, she looks a lot younger than he did. They had, huge twist, huge throws, but absolutely no jumping ability. I mean,
maybe because she's young. I'm not sure. I thought that they were nice. They were cute. They kind of like. I don't know any of their names or how to say their names. I'm really sorry. The team that came first was very mature, and I found that the team that came second kind of was sloppy in some areas. That was kind of the impression that I got.
Sloppy, but they skated fast.
Kind of hard to watch. Like their sloppiness kind of made them fun. It was like raw. Which I kind of like.
Yeah.
And they had great lifts, really difficult lifts. Which is
I mean, she's so tiny, right? That little girl.
Not as tiny as the third place team, which was getting concerning. It really looked like he was skating with like a novice or intermediate lady.
And she couldn't really skate that well. When they skated on a corner, he was kind of dragging like a rag doll.
Yeah. So that was a little concerning. I was like, oh, was this Luba's old coach? But it wasn't. So I was like, definitely.
Why did the USA have no pairs? At this junior Grand Prix. There's good junior pairs in the US. Where were they?
We have pairs at the next one. So is that because we didn't do well at Junior World?
No, everybody has the spots for pairs. Yeah, ISU wants to fill those spots for pairs. So everybody has them.
So the US could have feasibly sent someone to every event.
Yep.
And it's not weird qualifying points, something like this.
They just chose not to. I mean, that's what I see of it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can correct me. But the way I see it is that they just didn't enter anybody.
Oh, that would be very odd. Yeah.
Maybe nobody met the criteria. So something I noticed when watching this, Canada had sent two promising teams to this event. But something I noticed when you watch those top three and then you get to the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh place team is how important a massive triple twist is at the junior level, not even just at the senior level. If you don't have a big triple twist in junior pairs, you are not part of the conversation for a medal at any competition. And that's kind of where pair skating has developed, which is amazing. It's very cool. I wish I knew how to do a massive twist. I wish I could feel what it feels like to do these like high floating crazy twists. I'm not. I kind of like to study technique of different things and see what people are doing. And I think it comes down a lot to the male Russian pair skaters tend to have very developed chests, which makes them very strong, as well as the girls being as tiny as possible. Kind of helps with the twist. But there's something else that's going on with that technique that is allowing the junior pairs in Russia to really hit that trademark with the big triple twist, and no one else is really able to do that on the junior circuit right now. I don't think that I've seen.
And they all had clean catches.
Oh, it's really clean. Those girls just don't move. They're like a plank. They get lifted up, and the guy kind of vaults them up, always right on top of his head too. what we see sometimes from a less technically correct twist is the girl goes over the guy. So the guy is catching in front of him instead of right over his head. The Russian twists are always catching very cleanly right over top of the guy's head. And the girls rotate like a top. Very nicely done. And it's something that's kind of the rest of the world, if they want to contend for medals on the Junior Grand Prix circuit, that's something you need. It's not even an option anymore.
Yeah.
So, speaking of pairs, how curious are you to see Stolbova with her new partner? And do you think we will actually see them compete? Like,
Do you think we're actually going to see them compete?
I don't know. Like,
you tell me your opinion on that.
I don't know.
They're still not even training most of the elements.
They're not. I mean, I hear from my friend in the rink that she has a lot of attitude, but that they look good when they actually train. So, Tarasov has been over several times to look at them. So that's
like Fedor. I hope he finds a partner. I just love Klimov. I hope that he finds a partner. I mean, he's such a good skater. I don't know. I don't know what the inner workings of that. But I know that she's skating with somebody else, so I sure hope that Fedor is skating with somebody else as well.
Yeah.
He's such a great skater, such a great partner. Great partnering skills.
I was surprised to see her continue because it just seemed like they didn't do a lot of actual training together over the last few years, and that they would come up to events looking really unprepared. She was spending a lot of time in Philadelphia or going to doctors.
So, did it not happen? Did I not read somewhere that she's with Nikolai now?
You mean she's training with Nikolai?
Well, I don't know. I thought I read somewhere that she was dating him now, but I might be wrong.
Could be. I mean, the wife is never in photos with him, so it's very possible. I mean,
I don't know. This is just a rumor. I'm not trying to spread rumors. Like, forget I said that. I just thought you might know the answer. But I mean, it's kind of strange that she would continue training. And if you're going to continue, why not do it 110% instead of kind of the lackluster way it seems to be happening? That's a little bit weird. We'll see, I guess.
I'm
interested to see Tarasov and Morozov this year. Like, I want to see them with a great long program. We have not seen them with a great long program in their senior career. We haven't. And what if they have? Or are they going to show up with another long program similar to the last few years?
Right.
What about Trankov coaching? Are you curious about that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really think that they need that much coaching when it comes to like each element. I think that they need help maybe with their mental preparation to put all the elements together consistently in competition. And they need help with guidance to great program selection.
Yeah.
I don't think that they need technical help from Max to do a better twist or to land a better jump. I don't think that that's really what it is.
Right.
They've always crashed in the long, though. They've always been great short programs.
But do you think, now coming back to a conversation we had, they tend to crash in the long because they know that their long programs are a little subpar. They mentally are not as confident with it. So
you never bought it. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, especially at that age and level, like you need to sometimes maybe assign a junior skater a certain thing to push them and encourage them in a certain way. But you really have hopefully started to find your voice by the time you reach the level that they had reached, and you knew that they were apologetic and doing these jive hand movements because they were told to do so, and they died a little bit more inside every time they had to do it. And it was Johnson at the side, not them. She liked it, they didn't. Yeah.
But that wasn't their only bad program. They also had the Lionel Richie programs, like.
Yeah, it's been a few years. But like at the 2017 World, I mean, and again, in 2016 and 2017, they had that amazing short program. And then that I forget what the song was called in that year, but they had that old school song that they did for their long program before Candyman. But then I was at a lot of competitions with them that year, and then we were at Worlds in Helsinki, and I was standing by the board, and I was like, oh, I like this song. like, did I get brainwashed into liking this song just because I've been watching them all season, or like, do I actually like it? Like, I couldn't figure out why all of a sudden I started singing along to their long program.
It was music by John Miles, is what they said.
Yes. But all of a sudden at the end of the season, I kind of started liking it. And I was like, I like this. Everybody around me was like, what? And I was like, I was singing it. And then I was like, I watched too much this year. And now I'm singing my competitors' program.
Yeah.
That was a funny experience.
Also, I didn't realize Trankov choreographed their Lionel Richie program. So it's more reasons to be concerned. You know, this is just...
The 2015 or 2016 one, right?
2015. The Hello. Yeah.
That was like their debut senior year that he did their long program. Yeah, so we'll see what they come up with this year, but I'm very curious, very intrigued.
I mean, Trankov also did Jesus Christ Superstar for his Olympic long, but it kind of grew on me over the season, even though it was a lot. So,
but again,
when they stopped on 2 feet for like 20 seconds in the middle of the ice.
It was dramatic, okay, and a nice rest. And very.
But again, in a short program that year, that they always skated clean. Always. And there's that.
If you can do that, I don't know why you would. Again, sometimes certain skaters find certain styles because they don't excel in the others. So when they excel all of her teams in that kind of genre, I don't know why then we had Jesus Christ Superstar, Adam's Family, and Candyman at the Olympics.
I find them interesting because Taras and Morozov look like the stereotypical Russian part. Like, they look like they have the great extension, their lines match. Yeah, and they just cannot compete.
And element in isolation so well done.
Yeah. But you put it together, and they lack the personality, and they lack the ability to compete or execute well. And it's really interesting to me because it looks like they should be like the top pair in the world, and it just doesn't happen. So I'm curious to see if that will happen this year, or will Sui and Han come back the second half of the season? So
probably they will.
Yeah.
I mean, how can a girl have so much bad luck? Like, how is she always injured? She's not doing pro quads, so that she's always injured from.
And let's devalue all of those elements.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what like how they train or the methods that they train with. But it just seems like she's I think once in the last 5 years she's put together a full season.
Yeah.
Maybe twice. But again, I'll be interested. They'll probably be around by 4 continents, I would expect. For sure.
Will you be going to the events this year? So now that you're coaching, will you be going to Nebelhorn or any of the events? Will you be going to 4 continents?
I'm a health coach. I'm not like taking on anybody like full on right now. Plus we're going on tour at the end of September, so I'm gone for the entire Grand Prix season.
Which is this tour makes me giggle every time. Is this the Thank You Canada tour?
Yes.
That's cutest Canadian title.
Aww. I mean, we're gonna go around waving. I don't know.
Okay.
The tour is like going to all the small towns in Canada that doesn't get Stars on Ice. Because Stars on Ice only goes to the major cities.
Okay.
And kind of like we're hitting up all the B cities with this tour.
So will you skate to Hometown Glory going to the little towns? Will that be like
we're not going to do that again. Like Hometown Glory will rest in peace with our performance in the Olympics and in 2016. That's enough. We'll have to bring back another program, but it won't be Hometown Glory.
But you're skating in all the small towns, and you're thanking Canada. You know, I feel like you should be skating to this music. It's just, you know.
Well, it seems like it would be fitting, and the tour is actually going to my hometown. Which nothing
exactly, Megan. Come on, you have to do it for that night.
But I can't. I don't want to touch it. I want to leave it with what happened at the Olympics.
Do something
Why would I want to play around with that? It had the perfect ending.
Do your paper article with the From My Hometown in the people. You know, skating loves that shit. You know, like when you skate.
Her hometown loves her. They don't care what she do, right?
We'll do something else good. I feel like I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch Hometown Glory anymore. And we skated Hometown Glory a lot. It was Eric's show program in 2012. Then it was our long program for a year. Then it was our long program again for half a year. It's enough.
You saw Adele skate in that library. You're going to be skating in the library at home. I mean, come on. It's just like you need to.
Maybe we should skate to O Canada.
What's the funniest thing that's been like awarded to you after all these Olympic medals? Like, is there some sort of like funny hometown something, like a sign?
Well, I got a street named after me. Like the kitty corner to where I grew up, where my parents still live.
Okay.
So that was really nice. I mean, there's been a lot, like I got a lot of like celebrations and stuff in my town that we did. But I always find that kind of stuff is like kind of uncomfortable. I don't like being celebrated.
What is not there to do anything except receive praise? It's not like.
And I'm like, oh, I don't like. I feel so awkward and uncomfortable being here, and like it.
Just be.
We did this. I did a lot of stuff in June in my hometown when I went home for the first time since the Olympics, and then I was there last week when they did the street unveiling, and I was like, oh, they've already celebrated me enough. Like I feel so uncomfortable. When will the celebration stop? I'm not like really big on celebrations, and I had a great moment. I love to reminisce about it myself, but I don't need other people celebrating it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand that it's an amazing honor to get, but it always makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable when people want to celebrate stuff like that.
I think that's the Canadian side. I'm like, bring it.
Maybe I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't need that. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm like, it's not even Boulevard or something. Jeez.
Smile during it. Don't have a Nancy moment. Don't say it's
you're nice and gracious, and I am very, very grateful for everything. I do just tend to find any type of celebration surrounding me a little uncomfortable.
But doesn't your new car that didn't they do?
I got a car too. Yes.
With your picture on it, right? Like, is it your?
Oh my gosh, it's not me. The car dealership. Like I'm a brand ambassador for an automotive group. So right now I'm driving a nice new Honda CR-V, but they kind of like wrapped it with their logo. So I mean, I was like a little worried. And I was like, can you guys please just make it classy? And then they wanted to put my name on it, and I was like, I just don't want my name on my car. But they understood, and the design actually is really nice. There's maple leaves, and then the Auto Group logo, and a little figure of a figure skater. That's not me. It's like a girl doing a bitumen. I can't even do a bitumen. So I mean, it's nice and it's classy, and I'm happy to work with this group. I mean, that was really nice of them. But I was a little worried, like, oh my god, what type of car am I going to be driving around? What are they going to paint on the car? Maple leaves look really, really nice and classy. Like just red and black.
Is this the longest tour that you're going to be on?
Yeah. That gives me a little bit of anxiety. I don't really like being away from home for long periods of time. I'm kind of like a loner and a homebody. Believe it or not, and I like going on the road for 2 months is giving me anxiety. I'm like, how am I going to handle that? I feel uncomfortable about it. I have no idea how that's going to all play out. We'll see.
One day at a time, Meagan.
Yeah. Meditate on it. Remember that
this is like a real tour. So
it'd be great memories for the rest of my life.
Now, on your Thank You Canada tour, will you be skating with Caitlin and Gabby?
Not Gabby.
Okay.
Caitlin, Patrick, Tessa and Scott, Caitlin and Andrew, and Elvis.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gabby is not part of that.
Yeah, she's going to compete. She's looking a little rough, but she's so early in the season.
She's an example of the generic program music choices. Delilah, this girl's supposed to inspire Like, I want to see something. She could do something crazy.
That singer, where does she find these horrible French karaoke singers doing famous opera? She's keeping the Carmen. And I was like, I thought maybe she went to some bar in Paris or some girl sang karaoke. She's like, this is it. This is my new short program. And then she asked the girl's sister to do Samson. I was like, enough with this idea. We've got to abandon the idea of like the French cabaret singer covering the opera music.
There's just so much potential, and I feel like she's. Some of these girls maybe aren't capable of doing more, and that's why they kind of stay in that safe zone. But I feel like Gabby is so capable. She has so much personality and feistiness and pizzazz. Like, she could draw us in and bring us on some crazy ride. So maybe in the upcoming years, she's going to come out with some great choice.
It's the idea of that young you that I got two different situations, two totally different takeaways from those two different programs. And to me, Gabby's just a little bit stuck in the young you, like My Fair Lady world of something overly feminine. And if she has this attack and she has this incredible presence and energy, and if she could hone some of that, but sometimes, like when we're talking about the unique people, always just want to be the same. And maybe if she, she's talked about her coming up and having a tough time, as an athlete and in school and things like that, socially or whatever. If she was just the person that wanted to be the girly girl, she may be fighting that push towards something a little fiercer. When she did Gladiator last year, we mentioned the idea of a gladiator, Gabby, was very exciting, but when they did it, she didn't go gladiator. It was like music, and she did a feminine version.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember early days, Gabby. Like, she did Avatar. She had this cool program to Avatar in 2013 or something like that. And that's how I picture her. But I can kind of see that they've tried to refine her. Which, I mean, it's great to add refinement to a raw, feisty, powerful skater, but you can't take away what their strength really is, which is that raw, feisty, powerful skater that's there. And that's kind of what I want to see. So maybe she'll bring some of that into her programs as they develop this year. Because I just think there's so much potential.
I want to see an edge to her. Like, she has some, I don't know if it's does. Whether, she has this grit.
She was Jalen Bourne program.
Yes, even Evanescence. Like, if Evanescence was still new and that would be the kind of theme energy I would give her. But she seems to fight it. You could tell it's a thing in her life too. If her social media, she's trying to edit. The whole thing.
And a lot of things to fight maybe the things that we see that make her unique and special, and she's kind of almost trying to cover up.
I feel like
they kind of grow out of that phase.
Have you noticed that every skater has changed their hair for the new season? And it's funny because we talk about it that it's Jason Brown finally cut the ponytail, but then you also see
Jason Brown's new hair.
I love it too.
I think he looks so good.
He does look really good. Medvedeva has new hair going on. Tara Kane has bright red hair going on. They're all changing right now for the new season, the new psychology, the new energy. It's interesting. So,
do you like the red hair?
For Tara, no. I liked her as a blonde, and I think she looks like Winona Judd. I just think she's good as a blonde. She didn't need to do the red hair. But I like her. I think she's so, she's an interesting performer. She's not...
good competitor. That girl, she can bring it.
On paper, she doesn't look the physically strongest, and then she brings it out in competition. Yeah. She's interesting to watch. There's something about her. So... But I don't think the red hair, looks natural. It looks severe.
It looks much to me, but I wonder with the right color skating dress, maybe it could work.
Remember how the Russian women would always dye their hair red on the ice dancers in the 90s? That's what's kind of looking like for me. So
yeah. I kind of like all the fresh looks. I like everybody.
Jason Brown's, I love. I just want to know how they really convinced Jason to cut the hair. Like, was he told, like, it has to go? Did they, like, quietly approach it? Like, how did they...
It's a coming of age. Maybe Caroline Chang requested it for the wedding.
Yeah, that was...
Maybe that was like part of the deal. Something was granted for him. I don't know, but I think it's going to look really, really nice, and he looks like a man, and I like it. He looks really handsome.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like, it really shows that he's changed everything about his skating.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like doing your hair is a big statement. When you make a big change like that, that's like, I am starting fresh and new, and big changes are coming.
Yes. So will Alexa cut her hair for the new season? Will we see? I don't think she should cut her hair, though.
She kind of had shorter hair at one point. A few years ago. Didn't she have like a little bit of bob? It looked nice.
Are you waiting for the Alexa, like the Aliona version of Alexa? Like, they look like twins on Instagram. So I'm like really curious to see them at the boards together, her competing. Like, I'm excited for it, you know, for this year. She may make the TSL intro.
But was it Alexa that really did Alexa need a makeover?
No, but I just...
Did Alexa be Aliona?
Yes, because she got schmaltzy. She went from being that really interesting girl to the really generic girl. After she got married, they were doing the Jenny Mino.
Okay.
The Ghost program was really insufferable. You know, like, it was too sweet and schmaltzy, and we know that you're married.
There's always kind of been the star of the team.
Yeah. I just thought she had so much personality. Like, when the second year that you won Worlds.
With Metallica. Oh, yeah. That was short. And the judges loved that short. They were always scoring high with that short program. I think they got 72 times that year.
Yeah, and then they dimmed her uniqueness and her light when they went the Ghost route. Like, I got it. They're celebrating their love and everything, but then they kept it for another year, and it was like, it looked like what made her stand out and special was kind of like smoothed over, you know.
Instead of encourage. I love that mentality.
I'm sure that Benoit Richaud will have had some interesting programs and music for them. I don't think he's going to have the lovey-dovey schmaltzy for both programs. I think that they'll do something unique. That's just my guess. I have no idea what they're skating to.
Yeah, and I want to see Deanna and Nate do this Whitney Houston program. I'm ready for it. My body is ready.
Their music, I don't even know.
They're skating to "I Have Nothing" from The Bodyguard. Like,
have nothing.
Wait, is Star Andrews singing it?
No, Star Andrews is not singing it. So, yeah.
Is that their short or their long?
That's their long. So
they're going to have such a moment at U.S. Nationals if they skate well. Oh, I can't wait. I love it.
You know, Jim always trains his teams to like...
I think at U.S. Nationals, Jim is like a magician with that. Or his teams are. I guess
he is so angry right now that he is going to put everything into this team. Like, I think Jim is the kind of wound person who's going to like have all of the feels for the next couple of weeks. He probably will look like unshowered. And then he's going to get into the rink and get, like, super duper hardcore motivated. So.
And I'm sure that Deanna and Nate won't be. I mean, I'd love it if they still were doing the throw quad, but knowing the rules and everything, I'm sure that they're not going to. So that will kind of automatically eliminate a mistake from their long program. Something that was a mistake last year will become a landed flow this year.
Right.
So, I mean, that kind of like takes them up a notch.
And she can perform. She's an old school American lady. So
she's so good. I can't wait to see her Whitney Houston. When do they compete? Are they doing Salt Lake?
No, they do. They're going to Italy, I think. For
okay, so that's soon. I can't. Yay, the skating season started.
Yes.
Love it. I'm so excited.
Just really quick for you guys. Now, Meagan, let's find out what a fan you really are. Like, I had the Ice Network app on my phone. And when Ice Network was a thing, right? And so it was always so easy to keep refreshing those score things. But the ISU, they don't have any sort of application like that, huh? It's just like go to the website and guys
so hard to go on the website, go to the figure skating category, go to the Junior Grand Prix category, go to Bratislava. Because yesterday, Eric was like, have you seen the ladies' results? And I was like, yeah, it's on the ISU website. And he's like on the ISU main page, and he was just like, I don't know. How do I get there? Like, it's so lost. And then he finally found the Junior Grand Prix link, but it was for Austria next week because they had already like moved Bratislava's off the main page. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So in that, I know it's great that they do the YouTube channel. That was really and then they categorize them even, like, that's a really great thing that they do.
Yeah.
It seems like I wish there were like fast, easy links for like live results as they came out.
They should have that. Why don't they? I feel like that's something that they should have. 2018. You know who I love? Like, and I'm not saying this as a Canadian, but I just love Ted Barton commentating those Junior Grand Prix, like finding all the positive things about that skater in 38th place and encouraging. And you know what? You have to remember, these young skaters go and watch these videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it's their only copy.
Yes. So isn't that the memory you want to have of your Junior Grand Prix experience?
That
memory, because this Junior Grand Prix this week was held in Bratislava, and twice I competed at the Junior Grand Prix in Bratislava, and I had like one of the most epic drops between the short and the long program in 2002. I was third in the short, and I think I dropped to 15th in the long program. And there was only like 18 or 19 skaters. Like I was like, boom, rock bottom. That was a terrible experience. But it turned me into the skater I am today. So I hope all those kids at the Junior Grand Prix in Bratislava, if they were 15th, they know it's still possible.
And Ted would have told you how wonderful you were. He would have been like, she's training in Montreal with, he would
I have no recollection of that video. If anybody has it, I probably don't want to see it.
Yeah.
It's nice to be. If I would have fell all over the ice coming 15th, and Ted would have been saying such nice, encouraging things, motivating me to continue. I just love it.
He makes PJ Kwong look not so Canadian when he's on there. Like
it was about like he knows all the skaters. Like, oh well, they've improved this since last year. They've improved this since last year. Like he remembers them year to year too.
He remembered them, but he certainly doesn't remember how to pronounce their names.
That's challenging though.
That one's tough. But then, come on, someone should hand him like a sounded out thing. That shouldn't be on him. You know what I mean?
That ladies' event this weekend was long. He sat there
6 hours
and through all those skaters.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have so much respect.
And
I want that job one day. Ted, when you retire, maybe I'm going to take over.
Hi, Ted. So as always, enjoy the skating season as much as Ted Barton. Hold an edge and look sexy. Bye, everyone.
Bye.